Hey everyone, welcome to Off the Shelf. This is my first official video besides the channel trailer. For this video, I'm doing a big collective library haul of all the books I have with me currently. It's gonna seem like a lot, and that's because it kind of is, but it's over like multiple trips and not like one trip. And it's just like when I go to the library, I say like, oh, I'm only gonna pick up 1 or 2 books, or only the books that I have on hold, but I usually leave the library with like 6 books at a time. I usually cannot get to all of them, but I try my best. And then if I can't get to them, I just put them like my for later shelf, my like read later shelf, you know, stuff like that. So this is a haul. I'm very excited to hopefully get to all of them. Luckily, I still have quite a bit of time to read them, so hopefully I will be able to get to them. So the first book is The Tortoise Tale by Kendra Coulter. I'm a very big cover person. I know the saying is don't judge a book by its cover, but I do. The Tortoise Tale is basically exploring like certain American history events through the eyes of the tortoise as our narrator. I think having a tortoise as a narrator is very unique. Just like an animal as a narrator, that's awesome. And so like between the cover and the synopsis really caught my eye. And plus, fun fact, I have a Russian tortoise and a box turtle myself. So anything with a tortoise turtle, okay. A tortoise or a turtle, it'll get me. The next book, it's a horror book, and it's The Hunger We Passed Down by Jen Suk Fong Lee. How do I pronounce the last name? Again, the cover is very pretty. This is like a horror book centering around intergenerational trauma, and it's like generations of women. I usually gravitate towards stories that are like generations of a family, or like multiple subjects at play, if that makes sense. And so when I read intergenerational trauma and multi-generational of like women, I'm like, ooh. And I'm trying to get more into horror. I have read a few horror more recently. It helps that my university book club that I'm a part of, the head of it likes horror, so like it helps that kind of get like more exposure that way. This next one is a mystery thriller. It's called Scorched Grace by Margot. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I'm so sorry. The cover, can we get a moment for the cover? Wow. It's so pretty. It's a Sister Holiday mystery. I believe this is the first book in a series. Sister Holiday is more faithful than most, but she's no saint. And it's like a whodunit mystery, so that's also fun. I don't read a ton of mysteries. I just gravitate more towards literary fiction, and like I'm starting to read more romance now. Yeah, I'm like trying to mix up my genres a little bit more, different types of stories. Yeah. Whole point of reading. This next one is a sequel to A Tempest of Tea by Hafsai Faisal. It's the second book called A Steeping of Blood. I really liked A Tempest of Tea. It's like a tea shop, but like at night it's like a place for vampires, you know. I've heard that it's compared to Six of Crows because it's like a heist story, and it's like you're following a group of people. And so the first book was really good. I think I read that definitely over a year ago, maybe close to 2. So before I read A Steeping of Blood, I would definitely need to watch like a video recap of the first book. This was an anticipated release. Yeah, I'm very happy that my library had it. Oh wait, actually, fun story. So like libraries, you can like request your library to get a book for you. I requested this book for the library to get it. Hey, just to preface, my hair or the lighting changed, I had to leave to go get dinner, so sorry if it might be a little different. It's been like a couple hours since my last clips for the first stack of books. So on to the next stack. I have The Tiger Flew by Larissa Lai. I love the cover. It's what caught my eye, and also tigers. I love tigers. One of my favorite shirts has tigers on it. Also the book shape is very unique, more square and short, so that's also kind of what caught my eye. I'm kind of struggling to summarize this book, so I'm just going to read straight from the synopsis on the flap. In this bold, beautiful, and widely imaginative new novel by Larissa Lai, Curriculo is a doctor who lives in Grist Village with a community of women who built their own society in exile after being expelled by patriarchal Saltwater City because of unique genetic mutation. Her lover is Paris Trophy, a starfish woman who can regrow her organs, an ability she uses to help the Grist sisters extend their lives when their own organs fail. When an outsider from Saltwater City, sick with the tiger flu, infiltrates the village, Paris Trophy falls ill and dies, so the grieving Curriculo must travel to the city to find a new starfish. There she meets Cora, a young woman desperate to save her family from epidemic. Cora has everything Curriculo is looking for, but before the pair can join forces, they're kidnapped to serve as test subjects for a sinister new technology that claims to cure the mind of the body. To save themselves and the ones they hold dear, Curriculo and Cora must go to war against a world where disease, corruption, and technology threaten them with extinction. The Tiger Flu is at once a saga of 2 women heroes, a cyber biopunk thriller, and a convention-breaking cautionary tale, a striking metaphor for our own complicated times. So very cool, very cool. We'll hopefully be able to get to this one. Very different than than what I usually read. Next book, The Jaguar's Roar. Again, this is another one I'm probably going to read from the synopsis. The story of an indigenous girl's kidnapping during a colonial expedition intertwines with a young woman's modern-day search. That's the little blurb at the top. The Jaguar's Roar, a spellbinding, poetic novel told in many voices, imagines two children's journey in a contemporary Brazilian women's effort to counter their disappearance from history. In 1817, two German scientists traveled across Brazil and into the Amazon, gathering flora and fauna to study and display in Europe. Among the collection they brought to the Bavarian court were two indigenous children. The children's images were disseminated widely to satisfy European curiosity about the distant land they come from. But little was known about the children themselves. Despite the scientists' detailed records about many of the plant and animal specimens, they only noted the children's tribes. The girl was a Maranha and the boy a Juri. J-U-R-I. After a few months, the children died in Germany, far from anyone who knew their names. In her award-winning fifth novel, inhabits the fictional perspective of the Maranha girl, of the jaguar she conjures for protection, of the German scientists who determine her fate, and the two rivers that frame her life. Intertwined in this narrative is the story of Brazil's suppression of its indigenous history and of a young woman named Josefa, a newcomer unmoored in the megacity of Sao Paulo, who identifies with the girl after seeing her image in an exhibit and tries to recover the child's voice and story. Yeah. It's also translated work. Translated by Juliana Barbassa. This next one is a romance. This is Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck. I read You Again by Kate Goldbeck, same author. That book, very polarizing reviews online. I enjoyed it. It's one of the first romance books I've read in a while. That book is known for its unlikable characters, and it's based on When Harry Met Sally. I really like that book. So when I heard that Kate Goldbeck was coming out with Daddy Issues, I was really excited to read it. I'm very anticipating this one. It's basically our female main character, Sam. Her new neighbor is a single dad, basically. And so her life changes as a result of that. So that's exciting. And it's just gonna be a nice little romance. Very exciting, very exciting. My next book, this really caught my eye on the shelves because of the colors. And then I saw the spine and I saw eye. I was I love eyes. Recently found out this is a short story collection, so that's fun. I'm trying to get more into short story collections, so you'll see one or two of those upcoming in this haul. And I really like this one line off the synopsis. When these women tell the stories of their triumphs as well as their pain, they emerge as funny, angry, loud, horny, lonely, strong protagonists who refuse to be secondary characters a moment longer. I really like that line. I'm very excited to get to this one as well. This next one is Brother by David Chariandy. I believe it's following two brothers, a coming-of-age story, learning to stomach the careless prejudices and low expectations that confront them as young men of black and brown ancestry. And they have a hardworking single mother. And then each of the brothers, they have a dream for their future, but the bright hopes are violently, irrevocably thwarted by a tragic shooting and the police crackdown and suffocating suspicion that follow. Honest and insightful in its portrayal of kinship, community, and lives cut short, David Chariandy's Brother is an emotional tour de force that marks the arrival of a stunning new literary voice. This next one is another short story collection. It's White Cat, Black Dog by Kelly Link. And this one is basically drawing inspiration from fairy tales and the Brothers Grimm tales. I took a class in women in literature and we read The Bloody Chamber and other stories. And that was more feminist take on fairy tales, fairy tale retellings. I'm always down for a fairy tale retelling, and this seems to take them in a new direction. So I'm very excited. Oh, funny thing about that, I'll get to this a little bit later. I went to Barnes & Noble today and I actually saw that on the shelves. I'm I have that at home. Thanks to the library. World of Wonders, and praise the fireflies, whale sharks, and other astonishments. Her first name is Amy. I'm so sorry. But the cover is so pretty. This is a nonfiction, a little out of my comfort zone. Don't read a lot of nonfiction, but the ones I have read I really enjoyed. So that's another genre of books I would like to get to more in the future. And it's basically saying how creatures and animals can teach us and demonstrate things to us. My Antonia by Willa Cather. It is a classic. It's a classic I never heard of, part of why I picked it up. Gather's masterful portrait of American prairie culture. Against Nebraska's panoramic landscape, Willa Cather recreates the life of an immigrant girl who becomes, in the memories of narrator Jim Burden, the ideal of strong and resourceful womanhood. Alternating between realistic and lyrical modes, Cather integrates evocative descriptions of the western prairie, harsh criticism of small-town smugness, and the intriguing transformations of memory-seeking artistic embodiment. And I would like to read more classics. I'm starting to grow my collection of classics on my home shelf, but I can also get them from the library, but I do need to get to the ones on my shelf. The next 2 books are romance books. This first one is Single Dads Club by Therese Beharry. Sorry, that's a really weird way for me to hold it. This one stood out to me because the male main character is introverted and out of his depth, and so he comes to become a single dad, as the title tells us. And then a former heiress, Delilah, our female main character, it sounds like she kind of like helps him get out of his shell, and then they become a family. And also it's South African characters and authors, so nice representation there. This next one I've heard a lot about online, and it's the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa K. Adams. This is a series, and this is the first in the series. Part of why I wanted to read this is because there was one at the library I wanted to read. The first one is the wife asks for a divorce, and then the husband realizes, hey, like, I'm doing stuff wrong. And so he finds help from a secret romance book club where men read romance books to like try to understand women better and like understand the romance side of love, gestures and gift giving, I guess, stuff like that. It's like a different take on a romance book. So that's exciting. This next one is Beast of the Sea by Ida Turpinen, translated by David Haxton. The cover. What drew me to it, if you're surprised. I'm gonna read this straight from the synopsis. Spanning 3 centuries and linked by a long-extinct denizen of the northern oceans, a sweeping and intimate tale about a fateful encounter between man and nature. In 1741, 32-year-old naturalist George Wilhelm Steller joins Captain Bering's Great Northern Expedition to scout out a sea route from Asia to America. Plagued with hardships, captain and crew never reach their goal, but they do make a unique discovery, a gentle giant that will be named for the young explorer who described it, Steller's sea cow. In 1859, the governor of the Russian territory of Alaska sends his men to recover the skeleton of the massive marine mammal rumored to have vanished 100 years before. 2 years later, a revered Helsinki professor hires a talented illustrator, a woman, ! To make precise drawings of a set of bones sent from afar. The ill-fated beast will help introduce to a skeptical public the concept of human-caused extinction. Finally, in 1952, the Museum of Zoology in Helsinki assigns its most talented restorer to the task of refurbishing the antique skeleton, a testimony to the sea cow's fate that will fire the imaginations of future generations. A breathtaking literary achievement and an adventure that crosses continents and centuries. That part stuck out to me. Beast of the Sea is a grand tale of ambition, the quest for knowledge, and the urge to resurrect what humankind has in its ignorance destroyed. Banger last part. These next 2 are poetry collections. I'm not huge into poetry. I've only read a few collections in my time, but these 2 I picked up. First the cover, and then one of them has a synopsis and like tells you what it's about in the back. We'll get to it in a sec. It sounds very unique and interesting way to share your collection. But this first one is A Holy Dread by R.A. Villanueva. This is the one that doesn't really tell you much on the back or within the flaps or anything, or the cover, but it sounds like it deals with like mortality, death, and like observation and things like that. When I was in the library, I like read a couple to kind of like get a taste of what was in here, and I liked what I read. Next one is Hardly Creatures by Rob McCaskey Holgate. This one is very interesting. It's like organized in the way you would walk through an art museum, and it's like, as someone who's taken a couple museum related classes, that was very interesting to me. And then I flipped through it. There's like accessibility points, like checkpoints, access guides, but it's like set up like you would move through an art gallery. It's like, so that's very, very interesting. This next one is Women Seated by Zhang Yuren, and it's translated by Jeremy Tang. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad with pronunciation sometimes. A riveting story of a powerful Chinese family's fall from grace into the world of an elite Chinese couple, a life of luxury, wealth, and around-the-clock service, which includes their trusted nanny, Yu Ling. Slipping in and out of the shadows, meticulous in her care of their only son, she has served the family for years and knows their secrets. But little do they suspect that Yu Ling has secrets of her own. In the pressure cooker political environment of China, the fates of even the most powerful families can reverse overnight. When the family becomes the subject of a government investigation, their fortunes crumble, and the nanny is left to make a series of life-changing choices. How far will she go to claim her due? Taut and enthralling, Women Seated is a high-stakes story of power and privilege, crimes and secrets, and the elusive pursuit of personal freedom. Bars. But yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Last library book is Maggie, or A Man and a Woman Walk into a Bar by Katie Yee. This one I did start reading and I liked it so far. I just started reading it in the library, which you might have saw in my channel trailer. This one is basically a woman discovers her husband is having an affair, and she also discovers that she has breast cancer. So our main character, I believe Darlene, is navigating a lot, but she's navigating her family, complexities of parenting in the middle of a divorce, and like doctor visits and having breast cancer. A lot of things going on. But so that's my last library book, but I'm not quite done because my library, as most do, has movies as well. And so like if I can't find a movie on a streaming service that I have, I usually see if my library has it on there. And also another good thing is if you can't get like a physical DVD, you can also check Hoopla, which has like ebooks, music, audiobooks, and also movies and shows. But it's like a limit of how many episodes you can watch. Anywho, but I got a couple DVDs. One of them I've already watched and I had to return because someone has a hold on it. So to return that soon. But this is Phantom of the Paradise. Very funky, fun movie. Highly recommend. It was such a fun time. It's like horror, but like not really gory. And especially if you love Phantom of the Opera as I do, you'll get a kick out of it. Similar like story beats and like, I want to say like character archetypes kind of. Like obviously the main person is gonna be like Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera, but he has like disfigured in the face, is like his voice is also affected, and it's like a rock opera, and there's a character named Beef that comes in and he's like the best thing ever. And so really fun time. I'm really glad my friend told me about it and we watched it together a bit ago. I heard about it in one of my film classes. We were talking about it in my cinematography class, and it's American Beauty. I'm just covering it in my library, but I would like to watch this soon. So those are 2 movies I got. I checked out quite a few movies and I love it, supporting a library in more ways than one, you know? Okay, so today, also like amongst the break in between clips, I went to Barnes & Noble kind of on an impulse. And so I picked up some books. I went there to look for one book and I found it. And then as you'll see, they had like a buy one, get one 50% off. That got me. And the reason why I go to the library also is because books are so expensive. When you go to like a new like retailer, like new books are expensive. Usually do library or my library's bookstore that has like used books and they're very, very nicely priced. Like most I've found a book is like $6 unless it's Blind Day with the books, which are usually like wrapped and like have like fun little goodies on the outside. Those are $15, but that's just like all the goodies on the outside of it. Maybe I'll unbox one of those in one of my videos. That'd be fun because I like those and I've gotten some good picks from those. You just gotta be careful. Anywho, getting off track. Barnes & Noble. Wouldn't you believe it? This was near $60. Insane. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about it. It's fine. So first book I got was Your Utopia, stories by Bora Chung, translated by Anton Her, author of Cursed Bunny, which I've heard of, haven't read yet. I've also heard of Your Utopia like on Goodreads, and so, but had buy one get one 50% off, and I was like, ooh, that's fun. And like you can like mix and match from like different stacks and shelves. One of the stories in here that stuck out to me was an AI elevator in an apartment complex develops a tender one-sided love for an elderly resident. I was like, that's so nice. Hopefully it's nice. It might not be, but yeah. So I got Your Utopia. And then this next one is a very pretty edition, which also got me. This is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. Very much love the movie. So pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to show it. And then like also some sprayed edges. As you wish. I don't always gravitate towards sprayed edges, but sometimes I do. And I just really love the movie. And I've been hearing like more talk about the book online, so. Okay, this is what I actually went to Barnes & Noble for. I was watching a booktuber, I believe her name is Jess Alley, I'll put it up there. She did, I think, like a sponsored thing for the publisher, and so just like the way she talked about the book, I was like, I gotta have that right now. And so this is a like young adult fantasy, I believe, like a very unique and interesting concept. And also, I should say, I'm not super into fantasy. I, again, like other genres, would like to read more of it. I've read a few, but I would like to branch into that genre more. Annabelle Gage is trapped in a male body and is rotting from the inside out, and Kaymore, with a magical elite, buy and swap designer bodies like clothes. Anna can't afford to escape her tattered form. When she fails the entrance exam to the prestigious Paragon Academy, her last hope of earning a new body implodes. As the clock ticks down to her final breath, she's forced to use her illusion magic to steal a healthy chasis before her own kills her. But Anna is caught by none other than the headmaster of Paragon Academy, who poses a brutal ultimatum: face execution for her crime or become a mercenary at his command. Revolt is brewing in Kaymor's smog-choked underworld, and the wealthy and powerful will stop at nothing to take down the rebels and the infamous Dark Witch at their helm, the Black Wraith. With no choice but to accept, Anna will still fight and kill her way to salvation, but her survival depends on the dangerous band of renegades, an impulsive assassin, a brooding bomb maker, and a luring exile who might just spell her ruin. As Anna is drawn into a tangled web of secrets, the line between villain and hero shatters, and Anna must decide which side is worth dying for. Man, that sounds so good. And also, very pretty. Again, got some waves. This is Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. I don't even think I said the name of the book. I'm so sorry. Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. Yeah, sprayed edges, gold waves, and then like a map. And then the 4 schools of magic, kind of like a glossary in the beginning. And also, I like read a little bit because to commit to a new book is kind of outside of what I do usually. Oh, the pages are shaking together. What the heck? What is she doing? I liked... Dang, it's like really sticking together. Anyway, what I was trying to say was, the first line, I cried scarlet. Bloody tears slid down... Oh my gosh, I cannot read today. In this book journal. I cried scarlet. Bloody tears slid from my cheeks, dripping onto the marble. I cried scarlet. So beautiful. But yeah. Oh, you actually cannot see anything. Yeah, Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. And I've heard from that book review and like sponsored post that I saw queer representation. I always love queer representation of what I read. It's mostly what I read. And yeah, so very interesting. I'm glad I was able to find it. A worker had to help me and I looked right past it, as usual. Usually that's what happens. Is like when I'm struggling to find something, because I walked right past it. Oh yeah, and also I almost picked up this Fatal Kiss. It didn't have like a sale or anything. Very tempted to buy it, but I was like trying to be more financially responsible, which is hard to say because I spent $60 on 3 books basically, but hey, it's fine. I got that book on Libby, which if you don't know is where you can read ebooks and audiobooks. You can connect it through your library card, which is what I do, or you can also I think connect it through Kindle. So I got that on there as an ebook so I can read it. And then I also put Aunt Kind. I put that on a hold at my library because I really wanted that book, but again, I wanted these 3, I guess a little bit more. But if I like them so much, if I love them so much, I can always buy them eventually, which I'm not a huge person with buying books I love. Like I've done that a little bit in the past. I don't know. I just kind of like, if I come across them again, I'll buy them. I guess that's like kind of what I do. I mostly buy books I've never read before, especially from my library's used bookstore. I do that a lot. Anyway, it's been a while at least, but I really need to read my physical TBR or to be read before I buy more books. You know, I just bought some, but it's fine. It's okay. I swear. It's okay. Anyway, this is my very extensive book haul, mostly library and a little bit of Barnes & Noble and a couple of movies in there too. So please comment down below if you've gone to the library or if you've hauled any books recently. Thanks for watching and listening to me yap about all these books I've hauled. And remember, don't be afraid to go off the shelf. Bye.